Hello, everybody.
Welcome to the FATE podcast,
where we talk about film, animation, television, and other forms of entertainment.
I'm Fritz.
And I'm Elijah. Welcome to another episode of Fate Podcast. We have people here. Not only me and Fritz, sorry. Sif, introduce yourself or say hi.
Hi, guys. I'm Sif.
We have Alex.
Hey, I'm Alex.
We have Dino.
What's up, guys?
We have Caleb.
Hey, what's up? I'm back.
We have Ralph.
What up, everybody?
Oh, my goodness.
It's good.
Goodness.
We're good.
As in the beginning of our podcast, we do a recommendation. So the recommendation is Infinity Wars. If you haven't watched it, watch it. If you watch it once, watch it again. If you watch it twice, watch it a third time because it was an amazing movie.
Trash.
All right. Caleb has a recommendation for you guys as well.
Okay, yeah. I'm watching this show. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. I'm pretty sure you have. It's killing in like the comedy game on FX. Atlanta. It's on its second season right now. Created by Don Glover and with his brother Stephen Glover.
Great
Man,
show.
when I tell you that it is one of the best shows on TV right now, not even comedy, best TV show, I am not joking. It is incredible.
I heard nothing but good things about it.
For real, I think they win an award for something.
Yep.
Yeah, they won an Emmy. They won an Emmy.
Oh wow, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
It is. Yeah, it is great. It is. I put it. The thing is that it says a comedy, and most of the episodes are comedic, and they have real funny stuff in it. But these last couple episodes I've been watching, they're straight up horror movies.
Yep.
Interesting.
I mean, horror is comedy. It's just very
in a
subjective.
sense.
That is true.
That is true. Well, check out Atlanta and check out Infinity Wars. And of course, we're going to talk about Infinity Wars today. But before we talk about that, I feel like we have an Infinity War in the podcast as well, because each of us talked about different topics in the podcast, and now we're coming together to talk about the Infinity Wars. What's up? You like that? Someone like that? Okay, cool. Now, the Infinity Wars.
I'm sorry, I'm like Thanos. I just sat in the chair and just showed up because it was my time.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Except, Alex, she's new, so she's Thanos.
I'm Thanos, man.
Now, Infinity Wars. One question: was the hype real? What, did y'all matter of fact, did it exceed your expectations?
Trash.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think
not.
it did. I think it exceeded my expectations for a bit.
Yeah, they definitely managed to bring all of the characters together very nicely.
Yes, I agree with that.
And
That I can agree with.
But
Can I add a caveat? right now?
You mean a caveat?
I set my expectations low. I was like, you know that I went into the movie. I was telling you on the last podcast that it's not going to live up to the hype. I told you all that, it might not be the best Marvel movie. We just gotta, let the hype settle down. And so after the movie, it exceeded the low expectations I had. Now, it wasn't that low, but it was lower than what you would expect.
I think it definitely exceeded the hype of Black Panther. I'm sorry, I think Black Panther fell way flatter than Infinity Wars.
Oh, yeah, man. Black Panther was way overhyped, and it wasn't as good as the hype would lead you to believe.
Oh, I'm on the wrong podcast.
I mean, I've seen it like 3 times, and it was like, meh.
Nah, I think Infinity Wars were better than Black Panther.
I mean,
I've been having that thought. I don't think so.
Infinity War was better.
But I still love Black Panther though.
I'm not hating it. I love.
All right. Let's stop with the riddle rattle. All right, so let's go around the room. Elijah, do you like Infinity Wars better or Black Panther?
Infinity Wars.
Caleb, Infinity Wars or Black Panther?
Ooh, I don't know. Hey, I'll come back to you.
All right, Sif.
I haven't seen Black Panther yet.
Oh my!
I'm moving on.
That's fine. That's fine. Alex.
Definitely Infinity Wars beats Black Panther for me.
Ralph.
Hey, Infinity War, hands down.
Dino.
At least Black Panther handled business, so I'm going with the Black Panther movie.
What?
What?
All right, bro.
All right, so let's
Wait.
let's
No.
get on Dino. Let's get on Dino. Dino,
Okay.
why? Well, why do you choose Black Panther over Infinity Wars?
I spent almost $80 at this movie theater just to watch all my favorite superheroes get bodied for 2.5
Oh my
hours.
God.
There was nothing good
Yeah,
that happened for the entire.
You
I
knew
spent
that
the
was
entire
gonna
movie
happen,
saying,
right?
"Get this guy, get him, and no one got him ever.
They almost had him. They almost had him.
They almost ain't okay, Ralph.
Go ahead and speak.
No,
But there was a struggle though. That's a part of a movie to make a movie good.
struggle. When did Thanos struggle?
Thanos didn't have to struggle. It was the story of the hero.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanos struggled all the time.
Yeah.
So they
He almost lost.
They had him halfway sedated, even though what's her name? The one that puts her hands on people's heads.
Mantis.
Even though Mantis is supposed to instant KO everybody, she couldn't.
No.
That's
But
what
she's strong though.
Do you know how strong Thanos is, though? Do you know?
He has a strong mind, bro.
Not only that, but he had
plus-
Infinity Stones on his side as well.
Exactly. He had Soul Gem, man.
They had him halfway sedated, had some of the strongest heroes in Marvel. Understatement. They couldn't pull a glove off his wrist, and all it took was for one half human to knock him across the face 2 times to mess Come on, stop this, man. Black Panther was the better movie. Overall, better plot. It well put together, and it was a complete movie. Y'all catch my opinion changing on part 2.
All right, whatever. Frisk, what do you think?
I'm going with Infinity War, man.
All right.
I felt completed when I watched the movie, even though it's an incomplete movie. There needs to be a part 2, but like to see all these characters, to see the science and the formula go behind to put all these characters together. The jokes were good. Like, I don't know what else to say. The action was good. To the fact that we see superheroes struggling in a team effort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree with that.
Yeah, me too.
In
I
a
agree.
team
I
effort.
agree.
To see Captain America and to see Iron Man put aside their beef or try to put aside their beef. To see that, to me,
Hold up. They didn't speak.
all right, they don't have to, whatever, but they still fought the same battle, even though they don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, they still fought the same battle. To me, that just shows like, hey, these superheroes have human qualities as well, and that's what drew me to the movie. But Black Panther, to me,
That was a lot of human quality in there.
look, my issue with Black Panther is like I've been reading the comic books and stuff. Black Panther is more aggressive in the comic books. He is
the comics,
cutthroat. He is cutthroat in the comic books.
Oh, kids gotta watch this movie, man.
I would say he's also a little bit less relatable
Yes.
as a hero.
What?
In the comic. In the comics, he's a lot less relatable.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a bit frigid in the comic book.
All right, guys.
Let's stick to the movies.
The first Avengers or Infinity Wars? Which is better?
First
Avengers.
Avengers, hands down.
First
there is not going to be
Avengers.
another Avengers.
All right, Ralph,
until we see
explain
Infinity War
yourself.
4 that's going to be better than the first Avengers.
Ralph, why?
Yeah, why?
Because, okay, so for the first Avengers, I feel like it brought everybody together. One, we haven't seen that before. That's one. Number two, the struggle was real. We get that the struggle was real, and I just felt like the plot. I mean, I know this Infinity War is setting up for the final battle. I get it, but the plot and everything for the first Avengers and the quality, everything was just perfect. The humor, everything balanced out. And the first Avengers, hands on, is still that is my number one or one or two top Marvel movies.
I agree with you
Hands
wholeheartedly,
down.
Ralph.
Hands down.
I agree.
Well, while I agree that the first Avenger movie is really, really good, Infinity Wars puts together what they've been building for the last 11 years. On top of that, we have one big villain that has not only simultaneously combined all of our heroes together, also causing them to like face some of the biggest challenges that they've ever had, including losing people that they love and possibly losing the entire universe. Not to mention, we have everybody, including Black Panther, who just had a movie included in there.
And you can't look at this movie in a vacuum.
Yep.
And
that's
all
the point.
of
Black
the
Panther's
heroes
here for 2 months and he's already dead.
All right,
Whoa,
go ahead,
spoiler.
Sif. No, go ahead, Sif.
as far as like heroes like coming together, this movie did it better than any of the other ones because they were able to meet up.
And they didn't have to kill Phil Coulson for them to stop bitching for 5 seconds to become a team.
I think that's because, well, we already have 3 movies for Captain America. We already have 2 movies for Scarlet Witch. We don't need to develop these characters as a team together because we already seen most of them fight with each other before. So it ain't really like we only have to adjust to something.
But this all led up to this, so now we actually have an Avengers team. They're working together.
Exactly.
Wait, Caleb, what?
Yes.
You think the first one is better or the Infinity War is better?
Oh no, I think Infinity War is better. I think Infinity War is the better movie.
Why?
Well, like I said, you can't look at this movie in a vacuum. Everything, the first Avengers movie built on this movie. So whatever worked in that movie is times 10 in this movie.
No, I agree.
Okay, let me ask you a question. You said we can't look at it in a vacuum. How else are we supposed to evaluate both movies? We're supposed to look at it in a vacuum. We're supposed to be looking at it for what it is and what it brought to us. We're not taking account to any other things but the movie.
I watched them struggle.
But you don't look at an episode from Law and Order in a vacuum. You don't look at one episode without looking at the other episodes. It's a sequel. Avengers Infinity War is a sequel to is a sequel to an Avengers movie, but it's also the sequel to Thor 2 and the sequel to Ant-Man and the sequel to all the rest of the movies. So disregarding the movies that came before it, you're not looking at it holistically.
And yeah, you can't, because I think the whole issue, I think what people were expecting was for our favorite superheroes to beat the bad guy all the time. Well, guess what?
Right.
Guess what? What happens if our superheroes can't defeat our bad guys?
I just wanted them to put up a fight.
And they did.
They did.
It was all movie long.
And I think you're missing. And I think you're kind of missing the point of the movie. Is that it's not the superheroes movie. It's not Iron Man's
Thanos' movie.
Yes.
It's Thanos' movie.
Yes.
That's why it says Thanos will return at the end. Because it's his movie. It's his story.
Why?
Everybody.
What?
That should have been the title of the movie, because that's what the whole movie was.
Well, what are you suggesting that they called the movie? Thanos, it was my time and now people need to die? Like, is that what you think they should have called the movie?
That's pretty accurate. That's pretty much what happened throughout the entire movie. It was basically Thanos running through everyone.
Yeah, but all right.
Them showing
It's
us that
Infinity War
no
because
one
it's
can
about
step
the
up to
Infinity
Thanos.
Stones.
Yes, they did step up to Thanos.
Exactly.
All right. So I think we need to evaluate what Thanos was doing in the movie. And
Okay, great.
Losing.
No, that's not what the movie was about. Thanos is an environmentalist. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, he
Yes,
is.
he is.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
So all right.
A humanitarian.
Yeah, exactly. And what differentiates Thanos from the comic book is Thanos was a bit obsessed with death in the comic book, but he has an ideology in the movie, which we are kind of, these comic books.
I agree with him.
With the comic books back in the day, like they kind of correlated what was going on in politics and in the world. We have an issue over population. Is he wrong for believing this? How would our superheroes overcome an extremist that wants to annihilate half of the
universe?
These are good philosophical questions that make comics and our superheroes great and our villains.
Yep.
Because there's good ideologies and there's bad ideologies,
and that's all.
Right, and I think
to piggyback on what you were
making him, I love villains that think they're the hero. That's what made Black Panther one of my favorites.
I was just about to say that. That's another reason
why. One of my favorite movies is because Killmonger was such a good character.
Mm-hmm.
He thought he was doing the right thing for his people.
Exactly.
He was like Black Hitler.
Exactly.
I wouldn't say he was Black Hitler, but he
wanted to start a race war.
He wanted to start a race war.
He was a black supremacist.
Okay, I give
was
you.
a black.
He's similar.
But Killmonger is the first villain I've been able to relate with personally.
Killmonger? Yeah, I agree.
So I feel like, Thanos is number 2, which is just another reason for me to say Black Panther is a better movie. But
So
And I agree.
The acting overall in Infinity War trumps Black Panther. Trumps Black Panther.
the acting. Yeah, no, I
Yes.
agree because they had A-list actors in Infinity War. Well, some of them.
You don't think Michael B. Jordan is an A-list actor?
No, I totally think he is, but remember he was also in the Fantastic Four
Ralph,
remake.
but Ralph doesn't agree.
B-list.
Maybe
Oh.
C-list.
Yeah,
Maybe
no,
B-minus list.
trash.
No, are you?
I put him in B list, bro. He B.
Maybe B-minus C-list.
If you bring people to a movie, then you are above a C.
Black Panther.
If you
People
bring-
definitely want to go see
Listen,
Fantastic Four for
listen to
Michael
the-
B. Jordan. There's no way.
Caleb,
There's no way people want to see
Caleb.
Miles Teller.
They went for Miles Teller.
No,
Caleb,
I didn't
you-
even see Fantastic
There's no
Four.
way.
There was
They
no
went
one
for Miles
interested in
Teller
that.
and Michael B. Jordan. Together, they make an A-list actor. It takes 2 Bs to make an A.
Wait, what?
If you say so.
no. No, I think he's B. He's B. He has the potential to be an A though. I'll give you that.
So how did you guys feel about? All right, what didn't you guys like about Infinity Wars?
I don't need to
No,
answer that.
before that, we can stay on Thanos. Is Thanos the best villain in Marvel right now?
Ooh,
No.
Ooh.
You said no?
That's
You
tough.
said Killmonger's better?
I say Killmonger's better. And I have a reason. I thought about this for a long time.
Go ahead, Caleb.
I thought
Speak.
about this.
Go ahead, Caleb. Speak.
Well, it's because I love Thanos. He's probably number 2. He had a great motivation, and a motivation you were like, oh wow, I kind of see why he would have that assumption and why he would have that opinion. But with Killmonger, it's like his brothers out in like Chicago and South Central LA that have the same opinion as him, have the same mentality. Kanye West, he put a tweet out there. It was like, Obama didn't do anything for Chicago while he was in office. And I was like, oh, wow, that's kind of like, put Obama in Wakanda, kind of switch that role. And you could see where Killmonger is coming from. You got black people in power and black people in poverty, and they don't see that. He doesn't see that they're helping him out.
Okay. See, I can see your point, but to me, I still think Thanos the best villain so far. Who else agrees?
I agree, so I'm not gonna.
Why do you agree?
elaborate. No, 'cause honestly, Thanos was probably, although he made me upset throughout the entire movie, it was in a good way though. Like he played his part well, like from the beginning of the movie all the way to the very end, where he went to the point where he didn't have the glove anymore. And I even had a relatable moment with him when he had to throw his daughter over the
Gamora?
cliff.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man.
I think
I was like, I felt for him for a moment. I was like, so you're not a heartless bastard.
All
I was
right.
like,
I think, in my opinion, I think Thanos makes the better villain because there was a lot of character development with Thanos. Killmonger, we didn't really see much. As much as we did Thanos, we didn't really touch too much on Killmonger. We spent more time.
Okay, I can see where you're coming from.
You could understand that, Caleb?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. What about you, Ralph?
Ralph, how about you?
Let's see. I'm gonna go with Thanos on this one.
Why?
Because like you said, character development with Thanos. It brought, and I like how it tied in with I forget the girl from Guardians of the Galaxy. I just like how it brought all that together, and like you said, we can relate to Thanos and we can relate to what he's doing. Not that we can't relate to Killmonger. We get what Killmonger did, but I think overall, Thanos, like he brought it. I thought the struggle was more real with Thanos, obviously, and with I just think for me, Killmonger, he left you wanting more. Like he just left you wanting more. That's just my opinion when it came to Killmonger.
Seth?
Yeah.
What do you
Who do
think?
you think?
About who's
The villain, the best villain so far.
I definitely like as far as character development stuff goes, yeah, it's definitely Thanos. I can't say for Black Panther, obviously. But like out of rest of the Marvel films.
Why?
Yeah.
Why do you say Thanos?
Because he is a true villain. Like for Loki or whoever else, for the most part, they've either been like anti-heroes or like anti-villains, but not.
I never thought of that. That's a good point. I really never thought about that.
I respect Loki and everything he did before he died.
Keep going.
Keep
going.
Go ahead.
So sad. But yeah, like no one else has really like gone uber far, I guess, to be like considered like as big of a villain.
That's true. Loki was only trying to mess up New York.
No, I absolutely agree with Sif.
Alex?
I think Thanos is a better villain. I mean, personally, my favorite villain, air quotes that y'all can't see, is probably Loki, but he's more of a misunderstood character.
Yes.
But he's mischievous. Yeah. But Thanos also, not only is he a villain because like he is so set in his ways, but he also has a lot of redeemable qualities. Not only that, but he makes all of the heroes kind of face things that they don't want to face. Like Star-Lord having to face whether or not he was actually going to kill Gamora.
Yes.
And the fact that he had to go and throw Gamora off in order to achieve what he wanted. Like he thought to himself that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. And
to hop on that, he also showed sympathy and empathy with Scarlet Witch when she had to kill Vision and whatnot.
He understood that better than anyone else.
Yeah, and even though he basically made her watch it happen again, he was like, "Hey man, I know what that's like because I had to literally just do this like this morning."
That part.
Yeah, I agree.
As far as villains go, are we counting like Marvel shows as well, or just the?
No, it's just the movies.
No, just,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? All right. So Caleb, what didn't you like about the movie?
About Thanos?
About the movie.
About the movie? Felt could have been like maybe a couple, like maybe about 10 minutes shorter. Cut a little bit of the fat off of the Thor and Rocket storyline.
I see where you're coming from.
But that's, right off the top of my head, that's about it.
Okay. Alex?
There was very little that I didn't like about the movie. Probably like, oh my god, it would be really hard for me to think of what I didn't like. Probably the fact that Black Panther I wish was in the movie a little bit longer.
Okay.
Than the 5 minutes of screen time that he got. But I totally get it because he literally just had a movie, so it was well, I don't feel like we have to keep bringing in Black Panther every 30 seconds to remind you we had a movie. But other than that, I wish that we had that a little bit more, and I wish that we got to see Captain Marvel at some point, or even Adam, as we've been teasing. But then you have the after credit scene where all we see is the logo.
Yeah, which is nice.
Honestly, did anybody know that logo was Captain Marvel without looking it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I knew.
I'll be honest, I didn't know.
Half the theater that I was in for opening night screamed, "Oh my god, it's Captain Marvel!"
Wait, Caleb, you didn't know?
I knew.
Oh, okay, it's only Fritz and Ralph that didn't know.
Let me tell you something.
And me.
I thought
all
right, my Captain Marvel and what they did. I'm not even gonna say
I didn't
that
know her symbol. That's why.
Yeah, I didn't know Captain Marvel was a woman. I thought Captain Marvel was a man because
you're thinking of the other dude,
Shazam,
DC, right?
Yeah.
Shazam.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he's DC. He's DC.
Yeah, but he's DC. I didn't know Marvel had a Captain Marvel.
Her name used to be Miss
they
Marvel.
do now.
So
that's the other.
Yeah,
that's a completely different character.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
yeah. Dino, what didn't you like about the movie?
No, I won't go there. What I didn't like about the movie?
Yeah.
I mean,
honestly,
say your mind. Feel free.
The movie's over, credits start coming up, and I was honestly just sitting there, just that's it. That's all they're gonna give me. It just felt incomplete to me.
It isn't incomplete.
Because it was
Yeah.
a giant
And I felt it,
cliffhanger.
and that's what cliffhanger.
I
had to check the
I think it's
time 2 or 3
incomplete.
times.
I think it's incomplete.
Wait. Let Dino
focus
finish. Let Dino finish.
on, the Avengers story for Thanos. That's a full 3-act structured beginning, rising action, climax, falling action, end.
I agree.
Go ahead, Dina.
I mean, yeah, I get where you're coming from with that, but like for me, I thought I was gonna get a little bit more. To be honest, though, I'll be honest. I felt the same way about Breaking Dawn Part 1 with Twilight. I was like, it really itched me a kind of way because I'm not used to. I hate when movies break it up Part 1, Part 2. Harry Potter did it. Breaking Dawn did it. Now Avengers want to do it. I'm just like, I just don't like the Part 1, Part 2 thing.
Ralph.
Well, there would be no way for them to contain the whole Infinity War storyline into one movie.
Yeah,
not even 6. Yeah, like it would
7.
be like, yeah, maybe.
How long was Lord
7,
of the
8?
Rings?
Ralph, what didn't you
Because
like?
it'd be like
about
4 and 4 each.
Yep.
Okay, so for me, I got a couple.
Section.
One thing I didn't like about the movie, I just didn't like the overhype. Everybody's overhyping it, so then you come in with this expectation, like, all right, I'm about to be wow, da 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 da. Everybody talking about the ending, from? This and that, and I was just like, that kind of, for me, was like, Another thing I didn't like was, like you guys said, it felt like they were kind of, like the story was kind of incomplete. So I felt like even though they had to jump around, but I just felt like in order to fit everybody in the movie, they kept jumping and jumping. Okay, now we're going to go to the Guardians of the Galaxy. Now we're going to go to Doctor Strange. Okay, but now we're going to go back to Wakanda. But let's not forget about Captain America. So I felt like...
I think they did that pretty well.
Yeah.
I feel like to fit everybody, and I get it, they just jumped around a bit too much for me. And then, like you said, for me, yes, they brought all the characters together well. Everybody blended good. But I just, it just felt like a bit, I know it's an unfinished story, so I'm not even going to say that's why I don't like it. I just didn't think it just lived up to the hype. That's all I got to say.
All right. Someone who want to respond to what Ralph said.
Well, the only reason I feel like it didn't live up to
if they cut off the fat from, like I said, the Thor and Rocket story, even though I really like that storyline, like their banter was hilarious, but them talking to Tyrion Lannister and all that kind of stuff, that could have been cut down.
Hey, but that was necessary though.
It would have helped with pacing.
Like I think we needed to see that. We needed to see how did Thor get his hammer. Well,
it's not even a hammer. It's the God axe.
Everything that was in a movie is something that we had to see. Like I'm not.
But I think they could have cut down the funny bits and like them in the ship.
I think it showed off their character, and the whole point was to show how they interact with one another, which is why it's good to have.
And that's a sacrifice. That's a sacrifice the filmmakers chose to make.
Listen, this movie was supposed to be like a 4-hour movie, and they cut it down to 2 hours and 30 minutes. So I think they trimmed enough.
But also, they did that so that we could see that Thor is actually really struggling with the fact that all of his people are dead. And, Rocket is showing that he is a compassionate character, because usually he's like, well, I'm just the asshole standing here and I hate all of you and, suck it up.
And
true.
And
I agree.
So it was very necessary to keep.
One thing I didn't like about the movie is that Hulk had erectile dysfunction the whole movie.
You didn't like that? I liked it. I liked the idea of him being, scared.
I like
that. Really showed Thanos' power.
But that started in Ragnarok. That had nothing to do with Thanos. That was the fact that he was Hulk for 2 years, and he was like, if I become Hulk again, there's no chance I'm coming back. That's why he's having a hard time coming back.
I just didn't like that.
I think he just
the personal struggle.
Scared, but I feel
I don't think he's
honestly,
scared.
What's
It's
Hulk's power?
thing.
I could have sworn from growing up, unless I'm wrong, that Hulk gets stronger the more the angrier he gets, and the more you beat him up. I thought he keeps getting stronger. So,
he does. The problem is he takes over.
Thanos has the Infinity Stones. How is Hulk can't beat that?
No, in the beginning.
Also, in the comics, Thanos is real, way better than Hulk in strength,
and that's why they
in
fighting
prowess.
style.
Yeah.
While Hulk is just
smash.
Like Thanos knows technique,
Mm-hmm.
and he can use that against.
That's why he got murked in the beginning of the movie.
Hulk got smashed.
He broke his jaw.
Bruh.
Hulk never had that done to him before.
Yeah, I think it's the first time. I think after Thanos whooped Hulk's behind, Hulk got a little humbled.
Yeah.
That's his
But
power.
did anybody else realize that in the commercial you see Hulk running in the field when they're in Wakanda, but in the movie
it's the Hulk Buster.
He's in an Iron Man
changed
suit.
it.
Because they lied to you. They wanted you to believe that the Hulk is there the whole time, and then when you watch the movie, he wasn't. So they lied to you.
Well, they also had to put Hulk in the movie to get Hulk fans or like people who were like, oh, I really want to see how Hulk turns out in the movie.
So it was
couldn't show the beginning of the movie because that would be spoilers. That would be
it was
okay. Coming from someone who does film production, that's not why they did it.
Oh well, these are guests. Okay, why did they do it?
They did it that way because more than
School these boys.
More than likely, either they filmed a version of the movie where they did have Hulk in it, or it's going to be part of Infinity Wars Part 2. Sometimes they like to sync together parts of the trailer that didn't necessarily make it into the final cut.
Yeah, no.
So it's
okay.
I can
see that.
I can see that too.
So they're not necessarily lying to you. Too. It's just the way the producers are going to get you to get more butts in this.
And that it's
like bait. It's bait.
Do they work? Yeah, and do they work with another company and they do the trailer so they kind of don't have full control of it?
Yeah, usually it's another company that takes over the trailer cuts. So basically the producer's like, these are the things that I want because I know these are going to be nice selling points. And then that's what gets put into the trailer. And then when you watch the movie, it's like, oh, you have all these other things. And sometimes things don't show up because it was a deleted scene.
Interesting. I have one question and we'll go around the table and ask. Well, I have a couple of questions, but we'll start off with the one I'm about to ask. Who had the worst death when everybody started evaporating? Let's start with Caleb.
Spider-Man for sure. I actually started crying.
You a big baby, bro.
I feel Caleb. Caleb, no, you're right.
For a man who likes Superman.
Spider-Man, you think Superman was my boy right now? Spider-Man growing up was my hero.
Do you want to know a fun fact about that scene?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tom Holland totally improvised the whole thing. Nobody knew what he was going to say. So the reactions are genuine.
Wow.
Dang.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome.
20 years old and he just played everybody.
Wow. I wonder what his line was supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be anything, right?
He was just supposed to die.
Oh.
You know what I noticed? You know what I so you know how all of them were like they were kind of like, you know, T'Challa didn't even realize what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was talking to Okoye and then he just evaporated.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to die like this.
But because Spider-Man has the Spidey sense, he could feel it before it was happening.
Yeah. Maybe.
Which is crazy to me.
Yeah, I wonder why it took Spider-Man the longest to die. So yeah, that's a good point. The Spidey.
I think they all died.
Nope.
At the same.
Spider-Man took a minute.
I think he took a minute just because they knew it would be the most impactful because he's the youngest.
You're right.
Yeah. Because like Winter Soldier, like he just hit the ground, he evaporated.
Yeah, he was gone quick.
I was like, Bucky, no.
Yeah, I agree with Caleb. I think Spider-Man was the most emotional one, especially when he the youngest out of all the Avengers.
Yeah,
and he
deserved that.
And you know, everybody loves Spider-Man, and the way he was just like, Mr. Stark, I don't want to die. It was just like, wow.
Yeah,
that hit me.
Yeah, it did hit me, but I didn't cry though.
Iron Man's my favorite character, so I'm just looking. I'm like, do something, don't let him go.
All right, so
you know, and that's what made that so powerful.
When Tony got stabbed, I was like, okay, is this going to happen right now?
I thought he was going to.
I thought Tony. Go ahead.
I thought he was going to die right there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was going to die right there.
But if you remember, do you remember what Doctor Strange said? That he goes, if I had to choose between the two of you and the stone, I'd choose the stone over you.
Yeah.
But then he didn't.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's because he saw the outcome. 14 million, and that one was the half of the universe had to go.
But I digress. But like I just think that was a cool line.
Everybody picked Spider-Man.
I did not.
Okay, Alex, who's your character?
The most heartbreaking death had to be Gamora for me.
Oh, wow.
I think it was the most heartbreaking because not only did like before you had to watch Star-Lord come to, like grappling with the fact that like he would have to kill her, and like when he does, you can see it on his face like how like terrible it is. And then when she goes and she's up in Thanos' face saying you love nothing and there's nothing in this world that you could sacrifice to get this stone. And he just looks at her And then she like realizes in that split second that like he really does love her, and then she tries to kill herself and she can't.
Oh wow!
That the look on her face as she's falling, like it's the ultimate betrayal. And then she dies, and like you can see it on Thanos that it affects him. And the second that Star-Lord finds out that she's dead, and he completely loses it, it like really wrecks everybody. Like I agree, Peter Parker is definitely a close second. But I mean, on a side note, Sebastian Stan is my homeboy, so his death was obviously very, very horrible next to Loki's, because Loki was also a heartbreak for me. So it was between Loki and Gamora were definitely my biggest heartbreaks in the movie, because Loki was redeeming himself and he got murdered, and it just killed me inside.
Gamora is definitely a close second for me.
I thought you meant just for the ones who evaporated.
Sif next.
Not like any death. We're talking about any death.
Okay. Yeah, then that was definitely Gamora.
So is Gamora for you?
I mean, she is bae.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
And badass.
And we got her backstory, so that made it like even more emotional, like that we got to see all the shit that she went through just so that her dad would throw her off a cliff.
Damn.
So that he could do what he thought was right. And even in the end, when she asks him as little Gamora and goes, "Did you get what you wanted? And what did it cost?"
Everything.
And it cost him everything.
That's so touching.
Yeah.
Dino, which one?
I agreed with Spider-Man. That one was hitting me like directly in the movie. I don't know, maybe because I didn't have like a real connection with Gamora, but like Spider-Man, like that one touched me.
Yeah, I wanted to cry with Spider-Man. Like I wanted to, but
it was like in Iron Man's arms. That's part of the reason why the first Avengers movie is my favorite, because Iron Man is my favorite character out of everybody else. So the fact that I had to watch my favorite character be helpless while a child died in his arms, it was just like, man, that sucks.
Yeah, and it kind of shows, like I agree with Dino and everybody who chose Spider-Man, because, you know, it kind of shows, in a sense, the fact that he died in Iron Man's arms, you see the bond, or the... I see Spider-Man looks up to Iron Man a lot.
Like a father.
Like a father figure, yeah.
At the end of the day, Iron Man is human.
Well,
he's just a really smart guy who's able to keep up with these guys.
He's very egotistical as well.
Hey, he can be.
I understand
he's a
that.
guy.
And I think that's the part of the scene that made it powerful, is because, you know, he's so egotistical, and he you don't see too much emotion from him.
And I think that was a big thing, because remember at the beginning, like Tony was talking to Pepper about how like he was like having the dream that they were expecting, and like he's kind of like taken Peter under his wing as kind of like his surrogate son, and then to have his son die in his arms, and then, you know, when he's sitting there by himself, he's probably thinking like, oh my God, like what if Pepper's gone too? And it's like he literally has nobody.
Exactly.
He's alone. He's alone there. Oh wait, Nebula.
He has Nebula.
Yeah, Nebula's
but
on
Nebula
there,
doesn't give a fuck.
And he doesn't know Nebula. He's like, Ralph, what about you?
Yeah, what about you, Ralph?
I like. I think the one that hit me the most, like everybody says, was Spider-Man. That's the one that really did hit me the most, because again, he's a kid compared to everybody else who has experience on them. No one ever wants to see what's that saying? A parent shouldn't have to bury their child.
Yep.
Like Iron Man, like y'all said, man. That's Iron Man. Like they had this bond where Iron Man looked at him as like a son, and his son died in his arms. So it's just like, yo, that one. And even he pleaded like, yo, please, because that's his like father figure. Like, yo, help me, do something for me. Even at his last dying breath, he's calling out to his father figure, his dad, and his dad is sitting there watching his son helpless, and there's nothing he can do. So that's when that hit me the most.
You guys are gonna make me cry again.
I think it's very interesting that in the MCU that, I mean, obviously for the purposes of having Spider-Man's origin, they had Tony introduce him to the suit and stuff. But in the comics, because the one he idolizes the most is, you know, Cap. And I know like they tried to touch up on that, but they never like built up to it. So I was kind of sad about that. I hope they touch up on that in the future, because he's like, oh, Cap said this. All right, let's go.
Did anybody else wonder that maybe like an outtake when like Tom Holland was dying and, you know, Robert Downey Jr.'s arms, if he didn't go, remember, with great power comes great responsibility, because he basically pulled Uncle Ben where he died in his arms. So there's nothing you can do. And then Tony will become a better person because his Uncle Ben is dead now.
His child,
His Uncle Peter. Uncle Peter's dead now.
Oh man. Can we all agree the funniest death was Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Motherfucker.
If I wasn't so sad, I would bust out laughing.
Yeah,
Right.
That was perfect.
This motherfucking shit ain't gonna be taking me. Boom, gone, dead.
Uh-huh.
What'd you say, dude?
He finished the motherfucker, right? Or they
No, he didn't. He
said mother,
and then he's like, motherfucker.
There's no way.
But
There's no way
aren't
they'll
they
put
allowed
that
to
up.
use one though? Right? But
In the okay.
Not a mother, not a motherfucker.
No.
They can't
Okay.
do that.
in the technically in the MPAA, you're allowed to use as many swear words as many as you want, as long as they're not used in a derogatory or sexual manner. But most of the time, you're allowed 2 shits, 1 fuck, and like 5 bitches before it becomes
Rated
an
R?
R-rated movie.
yeah, because in Civil War, I think Spider-Man was like, "What the fuck?" when he saw Ant-Man grow.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh no, he said, "Holy shit."
yeah. He says, "Holy shit!"
Oh, okay,
You can
okay.
say shit like twice.
Okay. All right.
Interesting. All right.
know there was a
So
limit.
this is my question to everybody. All right. I like dialogue. I like theories. I like philosophy. Can we all understand where Thanos is coming from with his
Thanos?
theory? My fault. Say it again. I had a long day.
Thanos. Thanos. What's coming from?
Yeah, with his
Yeah.
overpopulation
Or Thanos.
theory.
I mean, I can understand
How
it.
do we feel about the overpopulation theory?
That's a different discussion, I think. But I can see where Thanos is coming from, or like why he sees it that way, and why he thinks that he's actually doing something good. And
Go ahead.
in a way,
I think,
he is the one
logic-
who's sacrificing the most. So, sure.
All right. So
I think.
yeah, go ahead, Kayla.
Let me go after.
I think if you think about it too hard, and like, actually consider his power and what he's trying to do, and overthink it, the logic kind of breaks down. Like, why didn't he just change with his almighty power of the Infinity Gauntlet? Why didn't he just change the birth rate in the universe? Or why didn't he just give food to everyone?
That's exactly.
Why didn't he just make ultimate,
Yeah.
unlimited resources?
That's not what it does.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You can make
Yeah,
people.
How-
disappear,
He
but you
couldn't
can't
have
make
just
food
made
appear?
like the planets and stuff bigger, because that
He can
wouldn't solve
change
the issue
reality.
either.
The problem is it warps reality. It doesn't
Yeah, it
change
doesn't change
It's
it,
kind of
yeah.
like with Doctor Strange, how they're able to move into like different dimensions
Yeah.
essentially, but it's not like they can't make more of what they don't already have.
So it's like when he kind of made
But you can get rid of
Mantis
stuff.
and Drax into the cube stuff, and then once he left, they turned back to normal.
Yeah, exactly.
But we've been like led to believe, and I completely agree. I'm just bringing up, like, devil's advocate.
2 apples.
Like, we've been led to believe that the gauntlet is all powerful, the power of a god,
Yeah.
and we
But
haven't
it
been
has
told
its
otherwise.
limits.
We haven't been told, oh, it can't do this and it can't do that. It can't when it has all the gems, it can't do what he wants to do without killing everyone.
So the most.
I mean,
he
that's
can
just
do
me
is
being
make
devil's
people
advocate.
disappear. But if there's an apple on the table,
He can't make it 2.
1 apple, 2
He
apples.
could warp reality, but remember, just because perception is reality doesn't mean perception is truth.
That's crazy.
He
What
could
a
warp it.
useless gauntlet.
What? It wiped half the universe.
yeah, I mean the
Perception
gauntlet
is reality.
See, now I'm
but
starting to
reality-
think: Did he really? Did he really?
Yeah, he did.
But it does have the ability to kill people with a single snap. I mean, it even has it in the comics. Like
Yeah.
the only way that they're actually able to fix is they have to go to an alternative timeline.
They could. What Thanos could have time traveled and fixed everything, right?
Mhm.
Well,
Maybe.
but the
Yeah.
problem is that it
Also,
would
like, Doctor Strange could have done that, but he didn't.
In the time space,
No.
it basically makes
It's the same thing
It's a temporal
why-
paradox.
yeah,
You
or
can't not take them off. Like that's how
Yeah.
bad it is.
Because, like, I mean, obviously that's DC, but like Flash, like, tackles that very well as to why he can't go around changing timelines.
No,
like,
I
with
agree.
Flashpoint and stuff. So
Yeah. So basically, yeah, it makes a temporal paradox, and there's not much you can do. It just
I agree. I agree. I completely, like, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't. It's a fiction. It's a nonsense story about a purple man with a huge gauntlet. It doesn't really matter what the gauntlet can do.
Yeah, basically Barney the dinosaur.
His philosophy is
I would cry.
sound, though. You can understand his sociopathic mind.
But he's not a sociopath.
Working his way around problems.
No, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a sociopath. He feels remorse. He feels bad about killing his daughter.
Yeah.
That's not a sign of a
he felt
sociopath.
with same thing.
That's
with,
a psychopath. He has feelings.
Well, whatever the path he is, he has it.
He has sociopathic tendencies because he was made this way. He wasn't born that way,
Sure.
psychologically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
But he's crazy. We can all agree that the man is crazy.
I would say he's not crazy. I'd say he's a genius. He's one of the few people that that you have to take out at least 75% of at least 50% of the population in order for everybody to survive. He's just the man who is able to do it.
Yeah.
The man with the
he's
conviction.
able to sacrifice everything to do it because he believes that it's the greater good.
So does that make him crazy or just smart?
It's not only that he believes it as well, it's because it happened to his own planet.
And that.
Exactly.
Like he believes it from experience.
Exactly.
But it's also that he didn't even just the idea. I'm not even talking about his, him being a sociopath with him coming up with this idea, but like him being crazy, like killing.
No.
After Scarlet Witch kills Vision, going up to her to comfort her, then immediately bringing back time and brutally murdering him in front of her.
But he needed the stone.
Yes.
He needed the stone.
Exactly.
I don't think he did it in the intention of being like, well, screw you, Scarlet Witch. Let's watch your lover die twice.
Exactly.
I feel like it was
But he did not have to go down and be like, you know what? I totally understand where you're coming from. I feel bad for you.
But that's
He
what
did it
Sorry.
because
He just had to do
he
that.
genuinely felt bad.
He connected
because-
with Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, he's like, I'm sorry that we're on opposite sides, essentially, because I understand having to sacrifice
Somebody
the
that
one
you
you
love.
love most.
Yes.
Yeah.
But a person who understands those feelings and understand what the person's going through.
No.
I wouldn't feel they would be like, hey,
but he believes that,
I
like,
really understand what you're going through, but let me kill this man right now.
It wasn't
He could've
about killing him.
It wasn't.
Again,
Needed the stone,
it
and
was
the
about the
stone
greater
subsequently
good.
kills him.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's this movie wasn't about good versus evil. It was about ideology.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I agree.
All
I
right,
agree.
so
But I'm just saying that he is
if you
a
agree,
crazy man for
he's not
he could've
crazy.
taken
He's not-
Vision away. He couldn't even just ignore Scarlet Witch
he's not crazy.
and then take.
He's not crazy.
But then you wouldn't see that he understands
Yeah.
or cares.
Or
Like
has a
the
passion
whole
to sign.
point that he wasn't talking to her to like give her more pain. He was just like, I'm sorry that you had to do this because I did too, but you're gonna have to go through it again because I need that stone.
But a sane human would be like, she's dealing with a lot right now. She doesn't need me to.
Let me tell you,
He's not worried about all of that, though. He can't be worried about all of that.
When
He
I
needs
say
the stone, that's final.
when I say it's a battle between it's a battle of ideology, you have to understand something. Try to internalize this for yourself. Look at what's going on today. We have many groups going against each other. All right. So if your friend say you have an ideology, but your friend disagrees with your ideology, you two are enemies now. So say you're an extremist in your ideology and you have a goal to set. Whoever's in your way, you don't mean any harm, but you will do anything to achieve that goal. Does that make any sense?
But right now, that's dealing with extremes.
Yeah, but
And I agree that he is dealing with extremes.
yeah,
Thanos
Thanos is an extremist.
Yeah, I agree.
The
I agree.
Civil War, right? The American History Civil War.
Yes, we're listening.
So basically, that's the same thing. Ideology. You have friends who just the issue was slavery. So you had one side that was against it, another side that was for it. So basically, they're not crazy. It's just that they believe one thing, so they went to war for it. It didn't matter if that was their brother or sister, because in the Civil War, people went against each other. It was just the main issue, and whoever was in their way, that's what it was, and that's how we fought the American Civil War. I don't know if that will help you understand it.
Nobody's crazy in that aspect.
Yeah, nobody's.
Yeah,
I can see where you guys are coming from.
I don't think Thanos was that crazy type.
Because he didn't Loki, I think, is crazy. But
Loki is not crazy.
Loki is not crazy.
He's
the god of
misunderstood.
mischief. To me, he has his moments. He can.
But he's not crazy.
He's trying to embrace what he's the god of. Like, if you are told that you like your only purpose in life is to be like
Mischievous and trick people
all the time, like that's your only thing. Like, he's an illusionist. That's his thing.
That's his gift.
He's like the Logan Paul of people without being an asshole.
Crazy?
I don't think anybody's crazy in the MCU.
Yeah, I feel like this term "crazy" that we put upon people is very dismissive.
Yeah,
we have to stop that, and we have to.
Guy Pearce's character in Iron Man 3 is crazy. The one where he's like, I'm going to set up the Mandarin and I'm going to make people into the extremists and then like blow them up because I'm taking a bunch of soldiers with PTSD just because I want to like fund a bunch of nonsense. He was crazy.
That makes sense.
That's true.
He was straight up crazy. And an asshole.
But
Thanos is just a man.
I do agree with not just using crazy as a way to deal with something that's different.
I think that the difference is that like Thanos isn't like an extremist in the way that we like think about it, because he's not going after any particular group. What he's doing is that like by snapping his fingers and 50% of the population disappearing, it's completely random. He's not choosing, and it can affect anybody. He's not playing God.
Yes,
he's being fair.
Exactly.
Yeah,
he's being fair, and as we know that nature isn't fair.
When we say fair, is it fair that do you guys think that he knows he would have remained alive?
I think that he had no idea whether or not he was going to remain alive or not, because in his mind, 50% is 50%. It doesn't matter if it was him or anybody else.
I don't think it kills. I don't think the glove kills the wearer.
Exactly.
I agree, because before he said, "Oh, after I do my thing, I'm gonna be in some planet and just watch everything."
He's gonna go on his farm and watch the sunset.
And in a sense, he is playing God since he's the one that's doing
he said that
this.
before.
But he's still not playing God.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
like,
okay, how about
Infinity? Think about. Let's
Infinity Stones.
Infinity Stones.
Wipe out half the population of the universe.
In a way that he is, but in a way that
but he's not like
he controls
like
time.
I get how, but he's not playing God in like the traditional way. He's not like.
Of course, he's not.
No,
he's not doing it. He's not doing it for personal gain.
Yeah.
He's not judging anybody.
Yeah.
He's literally just
he doesn't want
personal
to be God.
gain.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do it.
Wipe out half the universe and go watch the sunset.
He just wants balance.
Exactly, he wants balance, which I think is different than playing God, because playing God would be like, I'm judging you, like it's based off of your actions. This is straight up just it's anybody at any point, whether you're innocent or not. It doesn't matter.
It's like Light Yagami from like Death Note, because when he plays God, he wants to be recognized as God, and he wants like people to believe in him and stuff like that, you know?
And Thanos didn't care. Thanos was just like, I'm doing this because I'm helping everybody, and once I'm done, I'm gonna go sit out in the sunset and slowly die if that's what I choose to do, which is not.
No, I agree.
Because then the universe is in balance.
This reminds me of the. I don't know if you ever read The Banality of Evil.
No.
It was a kind of journalist, a Jewish journalist that went to the Nuremberg trials and wanted to really, take note on, who was in trial, the Nazis that were in trial. And she wrote this thing that was like, calling them evil and calling them like, how we see in the movies where they're just absolutely crazy and evil and driven to do this insane thing. But that's not what it's like. They were just doing what they thought was right.
Yeah. And
that's the frustrating thing about Thanos. The incredible thing about Thanos is that, to everyone else, he is evil. But to him, it's just his duty. Mm-hmm. It's not one way or the other. It's not good or bad. It's his duty that he has to do.
Yeah, he's kind of like the satire, oh my God, what's his name? The one where he says that in order to have enough food for everybody in the world, just eat your babies.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Because that'll solve overpopulation.
Yeah. Was it for Ireland or Scotland?
No, yeah, I think he was talking about Ireland during the potato famine. I can't remember exactly what it is, but he wrote an entire satire about like that's the way to deal with overpopulation. But obviously that's absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you ever want to feel terrible and like question your thoughts about Nazi movies, go read Banality of Evil.
Will do, on my list.
Add it to the do things with it.
All right, Thanos wasn't the only person they fought. How you think about the 4 henchmen? What they call them?
they were
the children of Thanos.
Yeah,
they were great. I love them. They were perfectly one note and non-important. I didn't really need their names at all. They were just the children of Thanos.
Yes. What was it, like Squidward, big guy, rejected Ready Player One character, and dude who's definitely from like either a game of D&D or definitely came from Blizzard. Like Blizzard guy, giant, rejected Ready Player One character, and Squidward.
I don't think like individually they were important, but like as a concept, they were, because like they wholeheartedly believed in what Thanos was doing. And
that Ebony Maw guy, the wizard guy with telekinesis, when he steps into the room, like the beginning of the movie, like his speech, that really intrigued me.
Oh my god, that was like chilling, because he's just like, take refuge in the fact that you're being killed because it is what Thanos wants. I'm like, dude, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Like, if anybody's crazy, it's those dudes.
Yeah. No, I
like
agree.
that guy in particular. Squidward was the scariest one because he was just creepy. It was just like, accept your death. And I'm
it
like,
is a good thing.
He also was the toughest one too.
yeah, man, I was surprised. I mean, I like the fact that they had to shoot him out the airlock. Like, they're like, we're going to pull a Ripley and we're going to send you out the airlock because that's the only way to kill an alien. Oh my god. I totally thought when he said that, he's like, you ever seen Aliens? I thought they were going to have a chest buster come out of like Benedict Cumberbatch's chest just out of nowhere, like, eat them.
That would have been awkward.
So what fighting scenes did y'all like?
Quick one. My favorite part of the movie was when both of the sides were getting ready to fight each other, and when they were running, Cap and Black Panther had like at least
when they were back to back. Oh my god!
20 feet ahead of everybody, but great. Black Panther had them by like maybe
when
like
Scarlet Witch
6 inches, man. But they were gunning it like. I was like, ooh, look at them go! Ooh, look at them two in the front.
I was waiting for him to be like, on your left, on your left, on your left.
My favorite just has to be when Thor got there on the field.
Whoa.
Made his entrance, I clapped. That was my favorite scene.
Ooh,
low-key saw that one coming. I was like, everyone's struggling. They got monsters biting down their throat. I feel like Thor's coming. And then, I was like,
God has arrived.
I was like, wow. So I guess everyone just got this burst of confidence now since Thor's here.
Yeah, right.
I really liked when the ladies were fighting together.
Oh yeah, the badass girl fight.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
So good.
Yeah,
I was just like, okay.
I love Okoye with Black Widow. We needed more of that.
I know. I wish.
I know, but we got a lot of that.
Is so beautiful.
See, like if only Gamora could have been there.
I know. I wish it was like,
honestly,
perfect.
My
Supergirl
MVP
fight
for the entire movie was Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, I agree.
Scarlet Witch,
Yeah.
Like she like wrecked all them bitches.
She was probably the strongest person there.
Yeah,
and she lost her
who
stupid
did
accent.
the most damage? Like who did one of the most damage? War Machine. War Machine was like straight up bombing the whole perimeter.
Yeah,
I
he
think
was.
Rhodey was pretty good. Like
Yeah,
he
War
did a lot
Machine
of
is
stuff.
thing.
I think he did more than Falcon.
He
did.
Something at him.
Poor Falcon. Falcon just dies and no one cares except for Rhodey.
Yeah, when Falcon died, I'm like, yeah, no one cared about you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I was laughing so
I
hard.
didn't
My
even
friend.
know he died.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
died.
he falls down and like Rhodey's like, yo man, where you at? And then he like dies.
Sam?
you know,
Word.
actually, I think
must
if
have
we
been-
had
Were you
like
at Tess?
Maria Hill,
Yeah,
Oh my god, if Maria Hill was there, like
she's
that would have been
super
good.
fucking badass.
Yeah, she's a pretty cool badass. We were laughing. So my buddy and I, when we watched the movie, and as soon as Black Panther died, in his head formulated, he goes, "Oh man, the next movie is gonna be called Avengers: Race Wars." And we're like, I'm like, no, we still have Rhodey, so we at least have one guy left on the team. No, it's all just white guys.
But you know what I was upset about? That we didn't see Winter Soldier using his arm. He used the guns more.
No,
Like other than carrying
The
Rocket.
That was cool. I like that. That was real fun
that
when he
was
grabbed
funny.
Rocket by the scruff of his neck and like
just like use
And
spun
then-
around. That
And
was
Rocket
cool.
was just like, "Can I get your arm?" He was just like,
I know.
Yeah.
I feel like Rocket's
Yeah.
gonna have his arm by the end of the second movie.
I know. I was hoping he would come up with a
Definitely.
plan and be like, and I need that guy's arm and his gun.
I just need him. just take
Mood. I just need him.
All right. So, and what character like played the least role? Like, didn't play that much.
Not even Bucky, just Dan.
Didn't have that much screen time in the movie that you wanted.
I guess the Falcon guy didn't really know he was in the movie.
Falcon.
But that's you wanted though.
I wanted more Gamora and Loki.
I wanted more Loki, hands down. More Loki and more Bucky Barnes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's my Korg? Where's my Korg?
Yeah, where's Korg and where's Meek?
Korg.
I want Korg and Meek back, man. I needed him to be like, you want to start a revolution?
and
They're
Falcon
dead.
in the movie.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. No,
They
they were on
were on
the
the
ship.
ship.
So
Valkyrie and
I
everyone
feel
was
like
dead.
that's why they nerfed him. It's like if Hulk was there the entire time, especially fighting with Thor, it would have given them a nice
boost. Yeah.
That would have been so good though, because he would have been like, "Hey guys, you want to start a revolution?" I forgot the pamphlets.
Yeah,
no, for real,
definitely.
I would say Captain America didn't have as much screen time as I'd like. Like he was there to be, supportive and all that kind of stuff, the leader. But he was in there for like maybe 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll agree. I want his shield back though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like the new thing.
Yeah, I don't like the two thingies with the. Nah,
I didn't like that either.
But he got some good shots in with Thanos though. You know, like he went under and struck his knee and then went up with the claw into his chin. That was pretty cool.
But he got knocked out though.
They all got knocked out.
But can we all appreciate the fact that when Thor and Cap saw each other and Thor was like, "Hey man, you took my beard."
Yeah, that was
cool.
See, I love like they can balance funny, action, sadness all together, bro. Make it a perfect movie.
Yeah.
What about the?
I think some of the. Oh, go ahead.
What about the invisible standing joke? Yes.
What joke you talking about?
When Guardians of the Galaxy, he was sitting here eating his chips or whatever. He was like,
oh yeah. He's like, you can't
that
see
was
me,
hilarious.
I move so slowly.
I honestly felt like they had that scene to burn some time.
Yeah,
I was
they
like,
definitely did.
That scene was kind of pointless.
Yeah,
but it was nice because it like had the two of them having this tense moment, and then like she's like, I need you to kill me, and he's like, I won't kill you, I need you to kill me, and then
Swear on your mother.
I'll be standing here for an hour.
That's the point I want to talk about. Is like sometimes the jokes when they hit hard,
yes,
and they were great. They were great jokes, but sometimes it's like we just saw a character die. Let's take it easy a bit. I know like the other characters don't know.
This man came with the emotions.
Oh, for real.
Yeah. Like
you can't.
I'm supposed to be laughing right now. I don't know about that.
But they're superheroes. They're supposed to have fun though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if not, what would happen is like some of us would have been crying starting from the beginning of the movie. Like I would have been crying because Loki was dead in the first 2 minutes. Heimdall died in the first 3 minutes. Korg is dead. Meek is dead.
More Heimdall.
Right.
Valkyrie is dead.
I think the jokes were good, and you needed the jokes, and it's not a Marvel movie without quips and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But sometimes the jokes were like, okay, maybe take it down a notch, because the previous emotion was so high that it kind of overtakes the scene and it becomes pointless.
I agree. Sometimes that happens. I think the character that needed way more screen time, besides Korg and Meek, has to be the Cape of Levitation. That cape needed more screen time because that cape is the best Avenger.
Yeah,
it's so sassy. It's like a mom, and it never has to say anything.
Oh man, the cape prevented Thanos from closing his hand.
Yeah,
exactly. The cape.
Can we just
save the day?
Can we just point out that like Wong just dipped? He left.
He did.
We could have used him.
Who?
Wong.
Oh, Wong.
Yeah, Wong. Well,
like,
Wong dipped because he had to save reality, and we don't even know if he's alive.
Yeah, we don't.
I'm good, guys. You guys can fight Thanos. I'm good.
Right. Well,
I gotta go protect this empty chamber thing.
Well, what about Hawkeye and Ant-Man? Those two dipped too. Like they just didn't even bother to show up.
Ant-Man is on house arrest. Let's not include him. That's not fair.
That's true, but I think they'll let him out for saving the world, don't you think? And besides, he can get tiny and walk out.
Cares.
But here's the thing about Ant-Man. I thought Captain America saved all of them. I thought he saved. Or he only saved.
They mentioned in the movie Hawkeye and Scott, they had to go into hiding and protect their families. Like Captain America and Black Widow can be out there in the field because they don't have families. But Scott and Clint, they have families they need to take care of.
And for Cap, he doesn't have to worry about Bucky.
Okay, I get it.
With Like Wakanda.
I mean, I get that, but at the same time, don't you think you would want to be out there trying to protect your family instead of just being like, I'm going to be in a hidey hole?
No, I agree.
But I think Marvel's doing that on purpose because I think we're going to find out what's going to happen in Ant-Man and Wasp.
Oh, can't wait for that.
And that's why I think like they weren't there.
Because that takes place before Infinity
because it happened, and I feel like what's going to happen is that in the movie we're going to hit that point in Infinity Wars, and something's going to happen. Like either like my prediction is that Ant-Man's that Wasp and his daughter are going to be the ones who die.
No,
see, I think Ant-Man's going to go. I think Wasp.
No. I think the Wasp father gonna die.
Oh yeah, Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas, Wasp, and his daughter. They're all gonna die. I have a feeling that's gonna happen, and that's what's gonna drive him to do anything to do what he needs to do for Infinity Wars Part 2.
All right, cool. Do y'all have anything else to say about the movie?
You know what? Let's go around the room. Let's go around the room and ask everybody what do they rank the movie out of 10.
Okay, I go first. I rank 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's...
I ain't see anything wrong with this movie. I love all the characters. I love the story. And yeah, it was just an amazing movie.
I guess I'll go.
Yeah.
Okay, so no movie is perfect to me. You know, I love Star Wars. Everyone knows that. But, you know, even that has some flaws where it's like, okay,
you could have done that a little bit better. Movie?
But, so when I give this movie a 10, it doesn't mean that it's a perfect movie. It's a masterpiece.
Of course.
But it is a 10 out of 10, a legendary movie that will go down in history as one of the pinnacle moments in cinema.
Yep. I agree.
Sif?
Alex?
Elijah, they're on your end, so you pick.
I give it a 9.5 out of 10. I agree that no movie is perfect. And so I can't give it a perfect score because I just feel like that's just not fair to the movie. But it is a very, very good movie. Mm-hmm. There were a few things that like on a technical aspect that kind of got to me, but I could ignore them because the movie itself was so good. So I'm just going to give it a 9.5.
Okay. Sif?
I was going to give it a 9.
Why?
Partially lore-wise, just because I know that there's... And, like, how they bunched the actors together, I figured that they were going to split them up, but I kind of hoped that they would be all together, like, in one place, like, just everyone. But I can see how that would be, like, very hard to do. That and, as far as the Infinity Stones go, I really wish that they would have kept it, like, how they are in the comics, where, like, Doctor Strange's eye is not the Infinity Stone. Like, that is just like something that's like it's more magical and it like powers his magic in a sense, if that makes sense.
I never read Doctor Strange comics, so I don't know what.
Yeah, because it's more like a learned ability. It's not like the stone itself that gives him like the time warping. But
yeah, and it's not really time warping because it's more of he can reconstruct. There we go. Items and things, which is like in his movie, like, you know how when they can move the rooms and whatnot, it's kind of like that because that had nothing to do with time necessarily.
It's
like
more
in the
about
comics.
Reality.
Yeah, it is perception warping and stuff with magic.
Interesting. Dino?
I choose to maintain my
ranking.
The ranking?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I choose to maintain my intellectual consistency and just call the movie trash.
Why do you call it trash?
But if you want a specific rank, I'll give it a 9.
Okay.
How can that be really high-ranking trash?
I think
it is high-ranking trash.
I agree.
One, it's
Dino, you stick by that. You stick by that.
It still had Iron Man.
Don't let anyone tell you different. The movie was trash.
Any movie that has Iron Man in it, except Iron Man 3, is a great movie.
Though?
But I mean, I like the overall. Trash. Stop. I like the overall movie. Like the overall movie, just the ending killed me. You ever just see something great, but just like
it's not done yet.
I know it's not
Titanic.
done yet. That's why I feel this way.
But the cliffhanger was for a different arc.
Right.
Yeah, that's the only. I know when part 2 comes out, it's gonna reconnect with part 1, and I'm just gonna be like, "Yo, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life." But like for now, I don't like. This is just a personal opinion for me, guys. I don't like cliffhangers. I don't
There
like
you
being
go.
left on edge, and that's what they did to me. So honestly, 9 out of 10. Probably when the second movie comes out, I'll give it 11 out of 10 to make up for the 9, and boom, perfect movie.
They did that on purpose. It's completion theory. Now, part of your brain will be constantly dedicated to figuring out what
Yes.
happens in the next movie until the movie comes out.
Goodness grief, boy! Like she knows her stuff.
You see, this is why I couldn't go into film. It's gonna ruin movies for me because I'm gonna look at it in a much deeper and analytical way.
You're supposed to.
I've always looked at
I
film
just
like
wanna
this.
I just wanna
Yeah,
be a
me too,
fan.
but not deep
I
as her,
enjoy
bro.
being a fan.
You see, yeah,
Like she's able to like break down the movie down to like to the way they shoot the movie.
Oh.
Period. That I mean, it's really cool. Don't get me wrong, but like
Movies aren't just movies
I
though.
wouldn't wanna
Like
do
No,
that.
there isn't.
yeah, there's meaning in
So-
like you could get a message in a
And
movie. You could there's a whole
Captain
bunch.
Marvel better be all that.
A Quiet Place, but that's another day.
And I also want to know where
I'll
she's been
definitely
this
talk
whole
on that
time.
podcast.
Yeah, Ralph, what's your ranking on the movie?
I'm gonna give it a 7.5, 8.
Okay, why?
8. Like I said before, it just didn't live up to hype for me. Didn't live up to the hype. I thought it could have been. I mean, it was shot well. I like the action, everything like that. But again, it just left me wanting more. Obviously, it's the first one, and I
That's
don't.
a good thing.
Yeah, that's it.
I
Yeah, it is
think
a
I
good
think
thing.
this movie cracks the top 5 Marvel movies. But again, I'm gonna have to give it a 7.5 and an 8.
Okay, that's fair.
Fair.
Mhm. Fritz?
I'm gonna give this movie a 10 for one reason. I had to pee really bad. Okay. I had to pee really bad, and I ordered before the movie started. I got some nachos and some cheese and a big cup of Sprite. I drank all my Sprite throughout the whole movie. Usually in
That was a
movies,
mistake.
I get up and go to use the bathroom. This movie, I couldn't do that. So what ended up happening was I ended up peeing inside my cup, so I would have missed out on anything.
Oh
So
my God,
I'm giving this
Fritz.
movie a 10. That's how dedicated I was to it.
Well, good thing you had a cup. If not, you
Okay.
could just peed on yourself. That would've been
Exactly.
terrible.
You know that's mad.
I-
Dedication. I love the dedication.
That was just dedication. You know, you guys took my $10.
You had to be sitting alone.
Nah, I was actually with
Nah, I
a
had
friend.
to-
Before we
box.
close this off, what's everybody's favorite character? Did we say that already?
Iron
No.
Man.
Favorite
I
characters.
mean, are we going ladies or?
Any
It's
character.
a lady's a
Doesn't
character.
matter.
A lady can be a character. So
Yeah, but
whatever
like
you
I
want.
have different ones for each.
But your favorite though?
Your favorite character in the
That's
movie.
hard.
Alex?
It's difficult because I have a 3-way tie.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
go
Go ahead.
ahead.
Talk.
So Cape of Levitation,
Okay.
Okay.
Bucky Barnes,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and Captain America.
Okay.
Those are my top 3.
That's fair.
Mine are Gamora, Black Widow, and Loki. And I can't choose. So
All right. Mine is Captain America.
Cap for life.
Yup.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's all right.
My favorite's got to be Spider-Man.
But which one?
Miles. Don't even get him started.
For real. Don't
It's
even get
Miles.
started.
Yeah.
Bruh.
We could go on for a whole podcast. Don't.
I know.
We all know.
Ralph.
Doctor Strange. I thought I really did like Doctor Strange in this movie, man.
Yeah, he stepped up.
Yeah, I really did like Doctor
Cape
Strange in this
stepped
movie.
up.
Yeah. Dino, what about you?
Cape did step up.
Iron Man, hands down. Every movie, it's always him.
All right. Are we just doing superheroes or
I mean,
No, we can do any character.
Character.
I like Daniel.
Thanos?
Thanos. Thank you.
Okay.
I like him personally.
Yeah. He's a close second.
Yeah, I like Daniel.
Thanos.
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 Are you trying to say Thanos, which is
Yeah,
also the way
yeah.
that you can say it? It's Thanos
Yeah,
or
thank you.
Thanos, depending on
Thanos.
who says it.
Thanos. I like Thanos.
Thanos.
Can we
Go ahead, Caleb.
I want to pose a question. Who? Okay, so there's no way the characters that died in the movie, the ones that disintegrated, aren't coming back. There's no way they're not. But who do you think are going to stay dead?
Vision,
Right.
everybody on Thor's ship.
Nah, Vision needs to come back because
Nah.
Vision,
because
everybody on
universe
Thor's
stuff.
ship. Anybody that didn't die
I think,
isn't coming back to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anyone that didn't disintegrate, like Gamora's not going to come back.
No,
Vision's
Gamora.
not going to come.
No, I think Gamora gonna come back.
She's
She's
gonna
gonna come
in
back.
The Soul Stone.
I
Yeah,
Gamora's
hope
in the Soul Stone. I
Gamora
think.
come
And I
back.
think she gonna bring her back from the Soul Stone. If I'm not mistaken, that's what I've been hearing from all the YouTube channels I've been watching videos.
Right.
So maybe she might come back from the Soul Stone. I don't know, Alex.
Okay.
Well, I may or may not be able to confirm something
Oh
based
my
on some
God.
knowledge that I know. But
I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
uh,
You don't want to hear it?
I don't want to hear it.
All right then.
okay, but my theory is that we are going to be able to bring back everyone, including like I mean, I don't think we'll be able to save Asgard, but my theory is that we will be able to bring back everybody, and it'll take place between with some events that happen in Ant-Man and Wasp and Captain Marvel. Like, my personal theory is that Ant-Man is going to go molecular, go back in time, go to Captain Marvel, get
Be like,
Adam,
we need help.
and they're going to go back and stop Thanos from creating the gauntlet.
He can go back in time through that?
Yeah.
Wow.
He can go between space and time.
Oh, wow.
Because he can be that tiny.
Yeah.
See, I don't think that Ant-Man's that important, but that would be cool.
But I mean, they've got to bring it back. Like, we have too many movies lined up for them not to be bringing people back.
Well, I mean, Captain America, Iron Man, their contract is over, so then
I think though how we're gonna close off Infinity Wars is with
that
the
they're
death
gonna
of
die.
Cap and Iron Man. I think they're gonna die.
I think
So that we can have
I think
the
all the old,
Avengers.
if you notice, all the old
Avengers.
guard, all the original Avengers are left.
yep.
And I think that most of them, if not all of them, are probably going to die in the next movie, sacrificing themselves or doing whatever
Hulk's
to
dead
bring
to me
back.
already.
So their contracts are over?
Yeah.
Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr.'s contracts are over with this movie. Actually, Robert Downey Jr.'s contract has been up since since Age of Ultron.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, but he's coming back because of that money, baby.
Well, he's coming back because he enjoys being Tony Stark. That's the only reason why he's still there. And Chris Evans' contract ended with this movie, and I'm thinking that Chris Hemsworth is coming up with, I think Infinity Wars Part 2 might be his last one, if not another Thor movie. There's a couple of them that they have a limited amount of contracts. The ones that we know will be coming back are like Ant-Man.
I know that.
Yeah, Doctor Strange, Black Panther.
I don't know who they
Spider-Man.
would have, but I know that there were talks about having like female, like Lady Thor.
There's a chance of bringing Lady Thor, but I don't think it'll be Jodie Foster.
Or Jane, yeah.
Or Jane. Sorry, Jodie Foster would be way better.
Try to start new Avengers.
I know.
Natalie Portman.
All right. We have a whole bunch of theories.
I have a theory.
Go ahead.
I think that one of the biggest deaths in the movie coming up in Avengers Infinity War Part 2 is going to be Rocket. I think that Rocket's going to die.
Oh, okay.
It completes his character arc.
I think the only way that would work is if for some reason Groot was able to come back and it was a sacrifice to save Groot. I don't think it would make sense for him to just die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a sacrifice for his team.
All right.
Of which he has none left. It's just him. So they have to come back.
I would still really like Buckethead to join. Like,
I think we
Galaxy.
unpacked a lot of Infinity Wars. We got different people's perspective on it, which is good. And I think it was a good podcast. You know, I love the movie. We all love the movie, and it was a good talk.
Love the costumes.
Yeah,
costume was great.
real.
Costumes were great.
Mm-hmm.
Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Fate Podcast. Email us, fatepodcasters @gmail.com.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. If you have any questions, just email us, message us. follow us. Peace.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later, guys.